iPad,
iPhone,
microphone, mics.
This is the end of financial year mates rate sale. All stocks must go.
There are deals on every last episode of this podcast. Every episode, hundreds of deals on every episode. It's a bloody podcast frenzy. We're bloody giving away for nothing. Seagulls.
We got deals on episode 5. We've got deals on episode 13. This is our 30th episode, and we will have deals on this too.
If you listen to episode 1 and episode 14 in the same day, you can watch and listen to episode 15 absolutely free. Absolutely free. The Mates Rates podcast, all episodes must go.
Did you love episode 19? Then you will be amazed by episode 20, which is going for free on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, mate. And that's just how we run ads here. It's the end of the financial year. What have you got to lose? Reduce your taxable income. I'll say it again. Reduce your taxable income.
3, 2, 1. Happy new financial year.
It's a clean slate for everyone, old and young.
People so fixated on new year, new me, 2025, 2024.
What about 2023?
What about Q3 2025? What Q are we going into?
Three. It's quarters.
That just runs on a normal calendar.
It's the end of financial year, so surely next quarter is a new
That's the
Q.
confusing part about the whole thing.
Who's curating this?
Nice.
Mr. Q.
Q
Mr.
from
Wonderful.
James Bond.
Bong.
I watched Casino Royale. You know how Casino Royale is meant to be good?
It is.
It is good.
Nah.
I know you said this, but that's crazy.
No, because I watched Quantum of Solace. Everyone knows that's bad.
That's awful.
Everyone knows that's garbage. I watched Skyfall. Great. Excellent
What about
flick.
Mads Mikkelsen,
And then,
Mr.
I
Bond?
watched it on Friday night. Oh, Saturday night. Average. It's in between Quantum of Solace and
I
other
raise
one.
you, Mr. Bond. I'm scary Danish guy.
I have a full house.
Oh, I've been poisoned. Get to the car. Spoiler.
Well,
it came out a while
Yeah,
ago.
come on.
You know what I've been not thinking about heaps because I'm just thinking about it now? James Bond's supposed to be sexy, right?
He is.
Who's sexier to me? Tom Cruise.
Oh.
In the Mission Impossible franchise.
He's a short king, though.
But you can't
I
tell,
think-
mate.
Yeah.
But Daniel Craig's baby blues are so enchanting.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
in
boss
the
is
Bond
outside.
history, people they barely even pass an eye at him. It's the Sean Connerys.
Well, Daniel is the only Bond I've ever watched.
I know, same. I haven't watched
So it's
any
like
other
he's my
Bonds.
favorite Bond at the end of the
I've
day.
watched them all somehow.
And
And
how's Dan?
Dan's good. At first, I was a bit of a hater. I was like,
Right.
oh, he doesn't have that classic charm. He's too rough around the edges.
Mm.
But he sort of found a nice balance within the second or third
He is
movies.
a bit of a one-note Bond. He doesn't have that humor that the Bond.
Yeah, because like most of them, your Brosnans, your Connerys, your what else you got?
that
Dunno.
Australian one.
Yeah.
Lazenby.
Yeah. They had that like, oh, everything's a little funny and I'm not taking anything
slip a
too
Mickey in your
seriously.
drink.
Yeah.
And then we thought we should probably move on from that kind of Bond.
Yeah, let's stop pinching, Moneypenny's ass when she walks out of the room because,
And let's just make a Bond who, almost sleeps with a woman, then she dies the next day and he feels nothing.
yeah.
I hope the new one chooses a new drink because I've never wanted a martini shaken, not stirred.
that
But if he's on a spicy marg,
You
Bond's
can't.
like, yeah, 2 on
Mark,
the rocks, mate.
spicy,
Yeah.
not tummies.
You cannot change that. You cannot change.
But it's not getting me there.
in
Okay.
Casino Royale, he even spells out the recipe. He spells out the
Yeah.
recipe precisely.
Isn't the whole yarn as well? It's like it's heaps of water, so he doesn't get pissed, but he looks like he's drinking, or is that?
I think it's spirits mixed with spirits.
No, but
Jeez.
that does make sense. But I also heard that it was because he was pretending to not be like of higher class and just some nobody. Because higher class people would get theirs stirred, but people who don't know much about a martini would maybe ask shaken.
David Jones.
And I was thinking to
Nice.
myself after watching it, I was like, I'd like to try a shaken martini versus a stirred martini.
Yeah.
But if I went to a cocktail establishment, I would never have the stones.
Oh, because
to
they
ask for
think
either.
this guy's
Yeah.
gay, thinks he's James Bond.
You now can't specify because they'll think you're taking the piss.
Can we talk about graphs that we want to see that don't exist?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see martini ordering over the years, and each time a Bond film comes out, does martini ordering globally spike?
I had a
It
sip,
must.
I had a sip of a
Sure.
martini on Saturday. If that counts for anything.
You had a sip of martini.
Yeah.
Dirty?
My sisters
Olive
both got a
in there?
martini.
Olive or
yeah,
not?
dirty. gin, dirty, 4 olives, quattro olives.
Whoa, too many.
It's just.
I'd say too many olives.
Well, apparently you can't have.
Too many olives. I'd say you can.
No, there's certain numbers of olives you can't have in martinis because it's like bad luck. You can't have 2 olives.
Oh.
You either have 1 or 3.
So who made
I don't
that
know where
rule?
4 comes
Oh.
in.
It's not an interest. It's not a drink that interests me, and
That-
neither does in the realm of tax and money.
Yes.
I got a pint of beer last night.
In the world of end of financial
Don't
year.
Yeah.
tell me.
Have a wager. Just a quick wager.
Was
It's
it
not a
at-
drinking podcast, but
Was
quick
it
wager.
at the Stain past midnight?
No.
Not a gambling podcast either.
Yeah, not a
Friendly
gambling.
wager.
No, friendly way.
It's not a boys' podcast. Either.
No.
There's just 3 boys in it. But that's
and 4 actually.
that's
Yeah.
coincidental. That's circumstantial.
Well, there's 3 boys and 1 man.
Yeah.
Here behind the helm.
You choose.
I think you paid schooner. Was it
No pint.
pint? What's
It was the run of the mill.
VB something.
Run of the mill. I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna
name
say-
it.
Not interested, to be honest.
I'm not going to do like a crazy
No,
high.
don't. Be
I'm just going to
reasonable.
say reasonably you paid $14
Yeah,
for
go
it.
ahead.
Realistically, you're probably paying $16.
$17.50, and I never want to see that again.
Oh.
That's awful.
That is almost like 3 of those. That's a whole case.
Well, I was going to say, there are cheaper jugs at some pubs than $17.50 on spec.
And we're leaving that behind us in the 24-25 financial year.
Mhm.
Financial year has been, it's
Good to
usually
some.
Yeah, good to some. It's a time where you get money back from the government. Back when we were in hospo days,
That's the thing, because the financial year traditionally has been a point of pride in my life that I have take no regard for the financial year. I'm a strict normal year guy because I'm not an accountant. I'm not worried about numbers. But now that life is becoming more, now that I'm hashtag adulting a bit more, guys.
And you're hashtag your own boss.
Now that it's hashtag be your own boss, hashtag adulting is hard.
Yeah.
Hashtag not
Did
me
you-
adulting.
Did you replace your car battery?
Oh yeah, I have replaced my
Wow,
car
so
battery.
That's
Doing some stuff.
adulting.
And I wanted to do that on this end of the financial year, just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
for just for rounding errors
Good.
and taxation purposes. But now, when we're with hashtag adulting, with the hashtag adultpocalypse that's coming, it's like you actually start having to think about the Qs and the financial years.
Yeah. Well, look, in our current be your own boss sort of mentality, we
Hashtag.
actually have to pay the government. We like sort of forget about tax during the year, and then it comes to July, and it's like, oh, you owe them a lot of money.
X amount.
Yeah,
X
back in the
amount.
beautiful times of being a hospo worker, it's like tax that boss will be like, hey, here's your money. Don't worry about it. We squirreled away some tax for you, so you don't have to worry about that. It's money you never had. We don't have that privilege.
Yeah. We need a squirreler.
Apparently, we're supposed to be squirreling as we go. I've not squirreled once this year.
Yeah. Sammy's technically bankrupt, I think.
I'm
Oh,
technically
you're in the red, aren't
in
you?
insolvency, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but I'm in the minus because as we talk about coming to the end of this beautiful financial year, and what a financial year it's been.
Beautiful.
Friends were made, friends were lost, money was made, deals were
Yeah.
broken,
It's good for some.
stocks were bought, dividends were earned. And what was I saying?
Well,
Yeah, pretty much.
you
pretty
owe
much.
more money.
Took a look at the books.
Yeah.
Took a look at the numbers. Obviously, never traditionally. Traditionally, I've been a below the poverty line sort of guy. Never earned much money. This year, look, things are doing better. I'm not saying we're getting rich. I'm not saying that. As we
Don't
always
say that.
the podcast earns no money,
It
and
does
most
earn
other
no
things
money.
earn just a little skerrick of money. And we split those skerricks 3 ways. So these are atomized skerricks. I mean, I could
Get
go
'em
with
all.
that. Get 'em all. So, now that we're actually in a taxable income threshold, we actually have to pay tax now instead of getting money back.
And Sammy
took a
forgot
look
to
at the numbers.
squirrel,
I wasn't squirreling.
and he owes the ATO more than he currently has in his bank.
The word that was tossed around the room, nigh 3-4 days ago, was shocking.
Shocking.
It's a shocking amount, and it's a shocking system.
Took a look at the numbers, and it was shocking.
We're turning this into a libertarian, no tax podcast.
Look, and we don't need to take
Don't
the whole
tread
tax
on
with a
me.
fine tooth comb, all right? Like, things happen. David Jones, I'm sure you got a BYOB, bring your own boss. Not a big deal for you.
Bring your own boss.
You brought your own boss. So
Yes.
You mean pay G? Pay
yeah, he's brought his own boss.
PAYG. Yeah,
Who's his boss? Has he got-
GYG?
Yeah, GYG.
Yeah, so there's a boss here at the network, and so you have money squirreled for you, I imagine.
Right, yes.
Yep, squirreled. Yeah, I got them.
Automized
I want to
squirrelization.
be you.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I just wish someone would take the money out of my hands and squirrel it away for me and say, this is being squirreled to super, the super tree. This acorn's being squirreled into tax.
Well, are you guys not BYOS?
Bring your own sausage.
Squirrel.
Oh, no, we don't have a
That's where you're
squirrel.
going
Yeah,
wrong.
we need
you
a
gotta get
squirrel.
Squirrel guy.
like desperately.
What you
We
can
need
do
a
is-
squirrel guy. Actually,
Well,
that's what we need. We
Yeah,
need a squirrel.
But first steps, to be fair to that, is to reach out to a consulting firm, get them to weigh up the viability
Yeah.
of getting a squirrel guy, then potentially on that, cost benefit analysis.
Just ideate.
Yeah.
A lot
we
of
do
our
need to see if a squirrel would be profitable.
Friends are consultants, so maybe we could get some pro bono work done.
But basically, the crux of this is to say that a week ago, I thought I was the wealthiest I'd ever been. I'm saved up for Europe. We're going to Edinburgh in the end of, later in this year. I'm saved up. I'm feeling good about that. I'm buying stocks. I'm getting exposure to the market. I'm feeling liquid. Next thing you know, I technically owe more money to the government that I own personally. So I'm in negative $3,000.
But enough talking about tax. This is probably very boring for the layman
Mate,
listener.
the listeners want to hear about a generational rug pull that happened.
A rug pull?
Yeah, well, I was standing on a pile of cash and it was pulled out from
Yeah,
under me.
that is
Exactly.
true. Yeah, that is
I'm
true.
feeling like Smaug on a fucking mountain.
I just
of
don't know
gold.
what we've done to deserve
And
this.
next thing
That's
you know,
true.
the Arkenstone's been pulled right under my claws. And it feels like shit, Christo. Honestly, it feels like shit. Because you might be a casual squirrel, you're an amateur squirrel in your own time. You love squirreling. It's what you do best. We had a whole podcast about you squirreling money away. So you're fine. You're in the
Well,
black.
I'm losing. I owe the government just as much as you guys owe.
Yeah, but you squirreled.
Yeah.
You're like
You
Bellatrix.
squirreled.
You're squirreling away the diadem into your vaulted Gringotts, and next thing you know, it's not that safe, actually. They're going to take some. Anyway, you want to move on.
Meanwhile, Tom and I rug pulled.
Pull, generational.
I felt like Aladdin
Generational.
cruising on a flying carpet. Next thing you know, that carpet disappears and I'm...
What are you going to cruise on? now?
I'm falling towards Baghdad.
I
at
was
rapid speed.
building generational wealth. I was going to set up my grandkids with about $8,000. Poof, out of pops.
I was thinking of buying an NFL team.
Which
right?
one?
Any of
Dallas
them.
Mavericks. What's that? No.
That's
Houston
different
Texans.
story. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Well, Sammy, Tom, can I tell you that the rug pull would be far worse if it wasn't for one RTD?
If it wasn't for the...
yeah,
Oh.
If it wasn't for the good folks at Brookvale Union.
good folks.
That is true.
And
But-
how
but-
good they are.
No, but this is why I get confused because,
Okay.
of course,
You get confused that they're good folks?
no, I don't get confused
thank
about
you. We
that.
should make that on the record.
But it's like, oh, they're giving us money, which is great, so I can pay my tax with that money.
Mm.
But the more money I get, the more I get taxed. So it's like, I don't understand. It's a snake eating its own tail. The more money I earn, the more money I lose.
no, not the more you lose. You just lose
Well, I think the
percentage
more
of
you
it.
When do I
lose-
get to keep it?
never. And that's the rat race, baby. You're in it.
I'm all for hospitals, so I'll pay.
Yeah.
I'm all for like potholes as well. So
Yeah, fill the hospitals, staff the potholes.
yeah, fill them with staff.
Yeah.
Just little guys to fill it in.
But guys, we are on the verge of our first month of One Word Weird, brought to you by Brookvale Union. And
I'm so glad they brought that to us.
guys, it is the giveaway of a century. It really is. Need I say
yeah,
more?
no, and it's pissing me off.
It's pissing me off.
It's pissing me off because we have some great submissions.
we have some
submission?
great
We
submissions.
have some great submission.
Some story, but we need more.
No,
We
not
don't
even
need
need
them.
We
We
require.
Okay.
Okay,
So
well,
we need
there's a
similar word.
Yeah. And they will
Because-
need to be on our desk by EOD.
EOD when you listen to this.
Yeah.
Well, by the end of the financial year.
Yeah.
Pull your finger out.
Actually, before the
Guys,
end of the financial year.
Guys, need I remind you, listeners, you could win a case. That's 24 drinks.
You know what? Fuck it. Give him two.
Give him two.
Give him two.
Give him two. We need
two to
make
get
this
us
carrot
started.
bigger.
Yeah, we got to
two.
make the carrot bigger.
The
Guys,
first
it's
one gets
EOFI. We're
two.
doing deductions.
We're going to float one of our own. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to personally
Yeah.
put one of our own.
Send us in memo.fm/matesrates your bloody stories.
A story that has anything to do with the word.
Favor.
Anything to do with the word.
Favor.
Anything to do with the word.
Favor.
So send him in.
Could it get any more simple?
Guys,
I think no.
we love you. We love our listeners. And we want to hear your soft little buttery voices
We're trying to help you.
in our earballs.
Don't take this as negative. Don't take this as... Look,
Aggression.
don't take this as aggression.
Yes. This is fun. We're having fun.
But I might punch you if you don't start sending him in.
So, guys, send those in. But in the meantime, we're talking financial year. It's a new financial year. It's Q3.
Mm-hmm.
Are we finished?
Yeah, we got
Anyway, anything more to say
something,
with
something
Brookvale
funny,
Union?
Tom?
No, I just like the way you started that.
Yeah. Sometimes I start sentences on this podcast. I don't really know where they're ending up, which is the great thing about the podcast.
That's the
medium.
game. That is the game.
That is the game. No, I think we need to do some new financial year resolutions.
Of course we do.
Because I don't know, New Year's resolution, I want to go to the gym. I want to bake cakes this year.
Too hard.
Fuck off. New financial year resolutions. How do you save money?
I want to
How do you
10x
become
my income.
a squirrel? How do you become a squirrel?
Matter of fact, how do you become the bear who hires 10 squirrels
Oh,
to 10x their acorns
wow.
and then come back to me and give you the percentage of those acorns to
And
the bear?
plant acorn trees for future acorns.
Exactly right. The acorn tree.
Acorn.
It's going to be growing such
I'm
hits
on a
as
boat.
it's going to be growing hits like I'm on a boat.
Did
It's-
Akon hop on that track?
Yeah, I think you did.
It's going to be selling. It's going to be growing such hits as.
I thought T-Pain was on that track.
T-Pain, yeah, T-Pain.
Oh, which I had
Oh, no,
sex. I just
Acon's
had
on- I just had
sex.
sex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
songs.
It's but the acorn tree would be growing such beautiful hits as. I'm just trying to think of one. Sorry, is it
sex.
just called Sorry? Sorry for the things I put you through. Sorry for the things I. You know that song?
Nah.
It's really good. It's actually about this time that he accidentally brought an underage fan on stage and dirty danced with them. But he didn't know because, of course, he thought
was on stage.
it was at a club, so he assumed that everyone was over 21, right?
Mm.
This is his explanation, at least. And so
Well, that's airtight.
when he found out, he wrote this song, Sorry, you know. And I think he lays it all on the table. I think he redeems himself pretty nicely.
Can we pull up the lyrics for
Dude,
that
it's a-
song?
it's a good
my
song.
God. Wait, so it's actually about that?
Yeah.
Sorry by Akon?
And then he founded that city in Africa.
Oh, okay. So do
Yeah.
you want to hear these lyrics?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You read it.
As life goes on, I'm starting to learn more and more about responsibility.
Akon, he's
Strong start. I realize that everything I do is affecting the people around me. So
Yep.
I wanted to take this
Well said.
time out to apologize for the things that I've done and the
It's pretty direct.
and the things that haven't occurred yet.
Oh,
That's sort of like a get out of jail free card.
I'm going to put that down. He was just needed for the rhyme scheme.
okay.
Yeah, and things that they don't want to take responsibility for.
Mm,
Hmm.
the big
Was
bang.
that an early nod to Diddy?
Maybe.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. He's playing the long game there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like, I'm sorry for the times that I left you home. I was on the road and you were alone. I'm sorry for the times that I had to go. I'm sorry for the fact that I did not know.
He didn't know.
He didn't know.
What could he expect? It was an over 21s club.
It was. Why was she in there?
But anyway, moving on.
Yes. Do you guys have some new financial year resolutions?
10x my income besides that.
To 10x your income, to, implement strategies that are going to, hold your net worth at a higher level.
Sounds like you have one.
I've won, but
Go ahead,
Do you
go
have
ahead.
more?
Yeah.
Yeah, heaps.
Heaps.
Heaps. I just don't know where to start. So you go.
All right. Guys,
You got it?
new financial year's resolution 1. Bring a Domino's pizza into the pub. Let me just let that sit for a second.
Okay. We've got a question straight up.
You're at the pub. Name the pub.
Pub.
The
Big
pub.
pub. Big pub.
The big pub. You're at the big pub.
Big pub hotel.
You're there because it's your friends say come to the pub. And I'm at the big pub hotel.
Also, just not a drinking blokes podcast.
No, but
Sometimes
the
it
pub
comes
has
up.
other
It comes up.
things.
It's a public house.
It's a public house, guys. And they say, let's have a beer. Let's get some food. You look at that menu. $32 for a Parmigiana. $29 for a pizza. $28 for a burger and chips. And you're going, I'm hungry, but this ain't good for money. So what do? You go down the street. You go to Domino's. You get yourself a $5 pizza and you bring that into the pub.
Are they still $5 in this day and age?
I think some are.
I think the small pizzas pick up.
That's
for
small
$5.
pizzas.
That's a beautiful aspiration. The only problem is, first of all, they won't let you do it.
Yeah, that seems like the obvious.
No, they will.
Second of all,
Right.
Domino's, I think, is probably the singular fast food that makes me the most pooey and farty. I think it's got to be the worst fast food there is.
Sorry, mate. These aren't pooing and farting resolutions. These are new financial
That's
year
exactly what I'm
resolutions.
saying. It
Yeah.
sounds like you're putting on a pooey farty res, and I'm looking for good financial sound decisions.
Could I summarize that as you're looking to short the small guy and give some cash to the big guy?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
True, a nice local pub, and you'd rather pay
Yeah.
Domino's.
Yeah.
Don May.
I mean, it's
CEO.
good. It's good to be honest.
I'm very happy to
Yeah.
have a $5 czar
I know.
every now
Christo,
and then.
I know.
No, I actually haven't had one for like over a year probably, but I'm
For
sure
good
they
reason.
still hold up.
We had them.
Spicy veg trio. That's still going.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, new
Any more?
financial year resolution 2. What was it?
I'm still trying to
Oh, okay. I've heard
pick
this
one.
I'm tinkering.
I'm still trying to pick one.
We can pause the pod.
I have so many.
No need. No need.
I've just got so many.
Unless
Trying to
you
pick
don't
one.
have one.
Well, I've heard this being done. Maybe we should try and implement it. Just buying child's tickets for things and like for things where they don't check really.
Okay, I've been buying student tickets big time,
But not even
recently.
student.
Children.
Child.
On,
I have a friend who just
at
says
the movies.
Well, this was the example he gave was the footy, which I don't go to, but it's automated gates. So you can just buy a child ticket and scan it and walk through
Was
the
your
gates.
mate perhaps the Kick It Forward podcast?
That's what I was thinking.
No,
That's where I've heard
it was
that trick.
Toby.
Well, that's probably where he got it. And shout out to
No,
the
he
good
said
folks.
he's been doing that since his high school days.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so he was ahead of the curve. And, well, apparently, according to the Kick It Forward podcast,
Oh,
which,
okay.
great podcast. What can I say?
Great podcast.
Um,
I obviously missed that episode.
Happy to shine a light
Yeah.
on, some small little
Another
podcasts
small
Yeah,
place.
another
south of the
small
border.
business.
Apparently, they've closed the loophole finally.
Surely not all grounds.
Yeah, not all grounds.
Surely not all
And how would they
grounds.
close it?
Not all grounds. Hashtag not all grounds.
How would
I
they
agree.
There's a
close
section for tiny seats. That could be a problem.
No, there's a child's gate and it's really
Yeah.
narrow, so you have to.
Christo, as someone who
outside.
rarely attends a sports game, I
But-
don't know how they would close the loophole. I don't know how they'd open the loophole. I can't comment.
I reckon this would work for museums though.
Oh,
Something just fell
Some
over.
noisy works going
thank
on
God
next
just
door.
heard that one.
Now I'm going to remember. Sorry, choose one of
Yeah.
mine.
One
Yeah,
of the many.
please do.
My end of financial year goal is
Resolution.
to channel the wisdom of the past and use it to save me money in the present. A few
Sounds
years
good.
ago, I was known for my skills in the
Yeah.
world of. I don't like this
Taxing
term.
the shop.
I don't like the term shoplifting. I don't like that term.
Lifting.
I think it's very disparaging. Shop.
Taxing.
Unseen giveaways.
Yeah.
Yeah, unsung heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you were.
I used to be quite the shop. No, sorry, that's not true. How do I say this? I used to sometimes dabble in the crafts of
Forgetting
Charles
to pay.
Dickens novels.
Forgetting to pay.
Yeah, sometimes I would forget to pay. I took a long hiatus. I had to take a good hard look at myself
Was
after
that
I
forced or?
forced. It was heavily suggested by the good people at Kmart and Coles, who both, in separate occasions, caught me relieving them of some extra stock that I thought they weren't utilizing to the best of their ability.
You believed it to be clearance.
I believed it to be dead stock. I believed it to be costing them more money to keep it there, keep it under air conditioned, stop it rotting, than just me just relieving them of that $20 Parmigiano Reggiano wedge.
Yeah.
And so I got caught. Sorry, caught. That suggests I'm doing something wrong. I had some
friendly talk.
I had a word with the management at a couple different shops, Coles and Big W.
Turns out they're owned by the same.
That's so interesting. Turns out, yeah.
They're-
But what
Group.
when I had that discussion at Coles, they said, give us your details. We will not share this to anyone else. Next thing you know, I'm having firm words with people at Big W, and they seem to have all my details. That's so interesting.
Kmart.
Sorry, Kmart. So I'm thinking about getting back into that.
Well, they've probably forgotten you.
I think I've taken enough time off. Obviously, technology has changed, but there's more things stopping people of relieving them of their dead stock. But I
Yeah.
just think as an end of financial year resolution, it's like, okay, how do I
Get back.
get back in black because I'm in $2,000 of debt? How do I get back in black? That might be one way to get there.
Yeah. Here's your one risk. You've moved back into the area where your local supermarket is the one you got caught at.
Where I had those firm
Sorry,
words.
where you had those
Some of the
firm
managers.
words.
That's a great
So-
point. I think you're right. That particular supermarket is notoriously crawling with people who want to have firm words with you when you do
Firm
creative
words.
things.
Yeah.
So maybe it is about upskilling my techniques, moving them into the 21st century
Yeah.
and thinking in a world full of, cameras at self-checkouts and, scales and this and that and AI and
You know what I
work mind virus.
If you want to relieve people of some stock, I was in Aldi yesterday, which I wish I would never relieve of stock. But
I've relieved them of stock. but I sort of got caught. Sorry. I was intervened midway through relieving them, and they was just a little, hey, I'd prefer if you did it this way. And I went, sure, not a problem.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to have any firm words with management,
And
which
you
was good.
and you paid to relieve them of stock.
Yeah.
So, but I was in Aldi, and then I realized they didn't have the thing I want, so I went into Coles. So I used Coles bags.
Chris said this is one of my old techniques.
Yeah. So I walk in with 2 big bags of groceries, and I only need to get one thing from Coles.
That's my old technique.
Yeah. So
Oh, suddenly a few things are throwing into my Aldi bag. Oh, how did that get in there? Oh, don't worry. It's under the receipt with all my
Yeah, look at
items
the
that I bought at
receipt.
Aldi. This shouldn't be a problem for you, Coles. Next thing you know, I've got a nice Parmigiano Reggiano wedge.
all right, that's a good resolution. I'm excited to see if you end up any more firm words. Thomas, have you got one?
Yeah, I've got one, and I need the people of the show to listen quite closely to this. Not you guys.
Yeah.
But there's probably some keen ears who I'd like
Mhm.
to hear this.
Some Keno players.
Yeah. This is my rollers in the Keno
Keno
room.
on the phone now. Anyway.
Can you?
Interesting.
So specifically, my car costs me a lot of money every year. She's a gas guzzler.
Not to be confused with my car, who we went to high school with.
No.
Okay,
My
Great
your
guy.
your vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good at skateboarding.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
He was quite nice on the sticks. Yeah. So I've been looking at the numbers here. I'm going like, I would like for Toyota, nationwide or like a small local dealership, to present me with a fresh brand new car.
So you taking the chance to just put the feelers out?
Well, I just thought, what's one way I can increase my cash flow is by getting rid of this old unsafe car. I'm at
Rust
risk
bucket.
of perishing,
Mm.
really.
And you wouldn't want Toyota to be blamed for that.
No, and I think if they put their best foot forward and said, "Here's a new one, totally safe," it's
Up
quite
to-
a nice
up to
car.
code.
It's modern, so it's much better on fuel economy. And I just pot around in that. I think I'd be much better off.
It's probably the responsibility for the good folks at Toyota to
Yeah.
think about the safety of one man and
Mhm.
think about the overall cost to the environment and think we could take a gas guzzler off the road if we only gave him a more fuel efficient option for free.
That's true.
You can take a photo of a dealership, and one thing stands out: how many cars are there
Too many.
without people?
So that's where I park.
We'll sneak one out the back. Not snake, but we don't need them all there.
Yeah. No
But
one's
are you
gonna
saying you're
notice.
going to sneak one out the back? Are you saying you hope that they sneak one into your hands?
Yeah.
Because they'll just hear this and go, you know what?
They need a write-off too, as well, don't they?
So less of a resolution, more of a plea.
No, that's what I plan to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You plan to buy one? Or you plan
No,
to
I
get
plan
a free one?
I plan to get this across the.
have some
It's more of a
meetings.
manifestation.
Yeah.
It's more of a.
Tom's been listening / reading / watching The Secret, a 2000s sort of method for manifesting your hopes and dreams.
I've never heard.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
It was great. We used to watch it as kids.
You have to say what you want out loud and then draw pictures of it. So
Oh,
and you
come
just
on,
think
mate.
about it and you believe that you already have it
yeah,
and it'll happen.
Oh well, no,
It's-
I'm not saying
Tom,
that.
it's been proven to work.
it's very good.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but great.
All right.
Just because that guy got in trouble for collecting things on the periodic table. Remember that guy? Just recently in Sydney, he was collecting all the elements of the periodic table.
Oh,
Really?
Got in trouble for
That's cool.
getting a small amount of uranium. It wasn't even weapons grade.
And you
It
think he
wasn't
was
enriched.
using-
It wasn't enriched, guys.
You think he was using The Secret to get those? Is that what you're saying?
Because I was like, if I just start saying, like,
I need some plutonium. Not enriched.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
enriched.
Some Einsteinium.
It's not
Not
W
enriched.
grade.
It's not enriched. It's not enriched. Why can't a guy just have a little bit of plutonium? Not enriched.
enriched.
Not enriched.
I don't want it to be enriched.
I don't need the International Nuclear Arms Treaty on my ass at all because it's
No.
not enriched.
And the level is completely safe for consumption. It's so small.
That's probably what Iran should have just kept going. Is,
Yeah.
Guys, not enriched.
and we're just collecting the periodic table.
Yeah, it's not enriched. Yeah, so there's going to be a great financial year next year. I'm pretty
It
excited
will.
about it.
And another way we can make money is via friendly wages. Not a gambling podcast.
Not a blokes
Not a
podcast,
bloke
not a
cast.
drinking
Not a drink
podcast,
podcast.
not a
No.
male skewed podcast.
We thought this
Our
was
numbers are quite equal.
this was a
I haven't checked them.
this was a good. We thought this episode was a good excuse to bring back a game we played a few weeks ago, where we called places and asked if they'd seen our friend.
Do you have a schmick name for this, or
Go, name, go. Gun to your head.
Call me if you want
Enrich
me.
plutonium to your head. Call me if you
We
want.
don't
me.
have
Call me
that.
if you
Yeah,
want.
don't
look,
have
you've
that.
got a plutonium gun to my head.
Non-enriched. Yeah, call me if you want me.
me maybe.
Waiting for a mate. What about that?
Waiting for a mate.
Yeah,
okay,
that's pretty
bang.
good.
Lock that in.
All right, so we're gonna, as if you weren't there a couple of weeks ago, what we do is we each draw each other a picture, and then we have to call a place
Mhm.
or a business and say that we're looking for our friend
And describe
and
the
describe
picture.
the picture. And if they've seen this person, we win an awesome prize, which is TPC.
I don't
So
have-
today we'll be calling pubs, and we'll say that we've got an important business deal. It's EOFI after all. Is our business not partner? What would
No,
you
like
say?
a client's.
Yeah, is the client there? They look like this. If they say yes, wow,
Great, you
we're in
win.
for a
If
fucking
not,
treat.
well, you get upset because you're like, this is a big deal. Like, look,
Yeah.
I've got drivers all over the city. Like, I need to find this.
We
person.
work for Big Four something. We can't say what industry, but talk to. That sounds better.
I'm not sure. Hello, Brookvale.
Hey, how you going? It's General here.
Hi.
Sorry, I just had a bit of a weird question. I'm meant to be meeting a business associate at your pub in a sec, and he's not answering my call, so I just wanted to check if he was there. If I could just describe him to you, if you've seen
Yeah,
anyone.
You can
Yeah,
describe-
sure.
You can describe.
I'll give it my best shot. He's sort of got he's got a round head, sort of spiky hair and a unibrow, and like a very wide mouth with a bit of stubble.
Older gentleman, young gentleman.
Youngish, like late 20s.
Do you know his name?
John. Yeah, we just got a big deal we're meant to be doing, so I don't know. Business deal.
Well, I don't have anyone by that description that would.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not yet.
Okay, not a problem.
Not that I can see.
Hope he's not backing out on the deal. But, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Thanks for your help anyway.
No,
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice touch at the end.
John's backing down on the deal.
Yeah, because this one just looked like he just had the world's roundest head.
Yeah, he's quite a
beautiful man.
portly fellow.
Yeah, starting off the
Beautiful.
description with he's got a round.
It was the most salient feature. I'm sorry.
If Dave's cut out all the others, this is our fourth attempt at a pub that'll answer Tom's phone.
Bombardary Hotel, Megan speaking.
Hello, Megan. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
I have a bit of an odd request. I've got myself in a pickle, Pickle. I'm supposed to be meeting a big client there like now, but he's not picking up his phone, not picking up the email. So I was wondering if I could just quickly describe him and just let me know if he's there.
Yeah.
No worries. So he's got curly hair, big eyebrows. There's an obvious like mole on his nose and a long chin. He kind of stands out.
No.
Shit. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What about the deal?
God, she was not happy with that.
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
I think she could tell.
Can
it.
I see the picture?
I think, yeah, the pickle might have given it away.
The
Yeah,
PIC.
because I giggled through the pickle and I couldn't talk about the ball sack chin that this guy has.
Bum chin. It's called a bum chin.
Oh, well.
It's just a simple Nigel Thornberry bum
As
chin.
soon as she started saying it, was like, yep. And I was like, he's got a wart on his nose. He seems to be crying.
All right.
Oh,
no,
God.
yeah. He just has swollen eyes from a bee sting.
Let's see if we could get a point in this game. I'm calling my pub.
Why are you unraveling? I'm getting nervous.
I'm not.
Confident, big confident.
Archie Hotels, how can I help you?
Hello, I'm Brian Rogerson. I'm just calling because I'm doing some important business. I'm meeting a client at your establishment soon, and they are not picking up their phone or anything like that. And I'm wondering if I was just calling to ask if you have seen them at your establishment. Can I describe them for you?
See for what?
I'm asking if my client is at your establishment, but he's not picking up his phone.
So how would I know who your client is?
Yes, could I describe what he looks like, and you can tell me if he's there or not?
No, I can't give any information like that.
You can't.
Nope.
Describe it.
Well, he has a hat that's a sort of beanie, beanie hat.
I am not allowed to give any information of any of the customers. who's sitting here over the phone.
Yeah, I'm giving the information, and you can just tell me if he's there or not.
I can't tell if any of the customers.
He has a big smile and 2 gorgeous eyes, and
Listen, are you fucking with me?
no.
Don't call us back, eh?
It's end of financial year. My
I
client.
don't care.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will not be conducting my business in your establishment again.
Yeah, please. Not an issue. Thank you.
Okay, ta. Dude. Well, that's the furthest away we've got.
Oh my god! He was so unhappy.
So what Tom had drawn was a how would you describe this?
Is that Mr. Hanky, the Christmas
Oh,
tree?
it's Mr. Hanky. I thought it was a bug.
It's like, have you seen
but,
the documentary? It looks like Mr. Hanky.
he looks like Mr. Hanky.
God, we got to remember to do hide our phone numbers. That was hectic.
That really tickled me pink.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be calling that pub again.
Where
Well,
was
you
that
won't
out
be
of
conducting your
interest?
business.
Dude, it's so funny. I'm not giving any information about my clients. Like, you don't have to give me information. I'm giving the information.
Dude, that was such a G-up. I love that.
And I decided to do the voice as well. And
The voice I like.
It probably pissed him off.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
It took like 10 seconds to say what you want. I was like,
I do like the voice. The voice is a fun element.
Straight up, are you fucking with me?
Fucking with me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Well,
we
suffice to say, I'm not bringing my client back to that
No,
establishment.
ta,
Mr. Hanky and I. will.
Oh god, have a great time, guys.
yeah, fun.
Well, one last thing just to rattle off Sammy's bake sale. Guys, we want you to come to Sammy's bake sale.
So it's going to be on Sunday, the 13th of July.
Where though?
in Camperdown Park, Newtown,
Oh, really?
From 1 o'clock to
3.
3 o'clock.
You mean Camperdown Memorial Rest Park?
Yes, I do mean that.
You know, we want to know a fun fact about that park?
Is it fun?
You know how so the whole thing used to be a cemetery. It was actually one of the largest cemeteries in Sydney.
That's the
Anglican
opposite of
cemetery.
fun.
Yeah, and apparently they used to just like, it was such an uncouth, like it was just such a poor area and stuff. They used to stack up 5 coffins at a time. And so they would dig a grave, bury the first person, and then they would just wait around. They would just wait till they had enough coffins to like close. So it would just be waiting there. You'd smell rotting bodies if they were just still waiting for like a 5th coffin or whatever. And then sometimes they would bury it, and you would be like 10 centimeters under the
It's
surface.
like you're trying to bury this date right now.
And then
so it's going to be
eventually
July 13th.
They moved the cemetery, but there's still bodies underneath there too.
It was the OG Zinger Stacker Burger.
1 p.m. till 3 p.m. Camperdown Memorial Rest Park, July 13th. Be there. There'll be cookies. There'll be
Help
brownies.
Sammy raise money for his standalone podcast. And see you there.
It's in Newtown.
It'll be a great time.
Have
We'll
a
all be
great
there.
time,
It's in
guys.
Newtown. Yeah.
Happy end of financial year.
Have a great financial year, guys.